Hi everyone, this is Jason Baracco of Wall Street from Main Street. First of all, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a Happy Kwanzaa, other Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year to come. I'm doing this short video today about Bitcoin because Bitcoin has had just an amazing rise. If you read our 2015 review, 2016 preview that Mo and I put out, we released it in December of 2015, January of 2016. We were writing about Bitcoin, how it was a good speculative trade. And I believe Bitcoin was around $250 back then. So really, Bitcoin bottomed around 225 or so, give or take. And if you look here at the chart, I have the chart up now here on CoinDesk, and the chart has just gone up a lot in barely a year. It's up to over 900. So now I'm going to talk about why I think Bitcoin is this high. And I think a lot of it is because Bitcoin is rising because it's a giant middle finger to the politicians in certain countries and the central bankers in certain countries. And unlike gold and silver, which is heavily manipulated, Bitcoin is manipulated with some high-frequency trading computers, but it's nowhere near as manipulated as gold and silver are with the paper derivatives markets. Okay, so let me show you some current events and some stories why I think Bitcoin is rising so much. First of all, I think there's been an explosion in Bitcoin demand. I think a lot of the demand is coming from China because there was a big devaluation in China, and there's been stricter controls on taxes on gold and other imported gold, although that's still at a record demand level too. We had a record November on the Shanghai Gold Exchange of this year, which was higher than the previous 2 years of record highs for Shanghai Gold Exchange. But this video is about Bitcoin. So anyways, though, we've had just politicians trying to do devaluations. We've had and central bankers trying to do devaluations of their own currency, whether it's the RMB. We had the demonetization scheme in India, which is cashless society and to a police state. For those of you who think that that's exaggerating about India, I would like to bring your attention to Jayant Bhandari's work. He writes articles for Acting Man. I will include a link to his articles. He talks about how India is turning into a police state, how basically the new money that's being printed is literally crumbling. It was intentionally made too big for the ATM machines. It's a disaster. He talks about the corruption in India. Things like this, in the past, you would never have had demand for Bitcoin in some of these countries. People are not going to, even if they're not libertarians, people are not going to sit there and, get raped. They're not going to sit there or not everyone's going to sit there with their cash in their account and let these politicians and central bankers who believe that for the greater good, that we have to steal all your savings and redistribute wealth, and the government should take more money and more taxes and steal your purchasing power. So for those of you who want boots on the ground insights into India, I would encourage you to look at Jayant Bhandari. He's done a few other interviews on other YouTube channels. I've listened to those. He's been posting those here as well in his articles, so I will link to that. But, it's really funny about the mainstream media, the fake news mainstream media. This is from Washington Post. This was at the beginning of 2016. Someone actually wrote another Bitcoin obituary, and that's right when Bitcoin bottomed. So, there's literally over 1,000 obituaries from the mainstream media about how Bitcoin was going to die. And yet, it's climbing the wall of worry. And I think this is a big middle finger to corrupt governments and corrupt central bankers who have been stealing from us and lying to us for a very long time. And, it's a middle finger, too, to the mainstream financial media and the fake news and other propaganda that they've been putting out. I also wanted to bring to your attention, besides the Jayant Bhandari's work on the demonetization scheme and the corruption in India going on right now, Jim Epstein's work over at Reason Magazine. He's Gene Epstein's son, Jim Epstein, and he's been covering how Venezuelan demand for Bitcoin has exploded because there's artificially cheap electricity, that the Bitcoin mining has exploded. And so he's come out with these articles, and he's interviewed people on condition of anonymity so they don't go to prison from the secret police in Venezuela. But they had their Bitcoin mining rigs confiscated by Venezuelan secret police, and then the corrupt Venezuelan secret police would put them back into operation mining Bitcoins. So you should I have a few of his articles here. So 3 ways Bitcoin is promoting freedom in Latin America, the secret dangerous world of Venezuelan Bitcoin mining, And Venezuelans don't believe in Bitcoin. They need Bitcoin. So it's pretty amazing. Even people who aren't libertarians, they realize that, just some common sense, that the government is lying. They're printing mass amounts of currency. In Venezuela's case, they're straight up hyperinflating. I think the exchange rate now is just totally ridiculous for the dollar and the Venezuelan bolivar. Isn't it like 4,000 or 40,000 bolivar for a dollar? Or it's just insane. So it's really unbelievable. So I encourage you guys to take a look at this. But I think the demand from these countries like India, China, Venezuela, also I guess in other parts of Latin America and Brazil, as Jim Epstein is pointing out, is where this demand is exploding. And I think that's why Bitcoin is going up. I'd like to see gold and silver go up, but gold and silver are under tighter controls for right now. Bitcoin is still very speculative. The blockchain technology is a good piece of technology. I am still worried, as I've said in the past, that governments are trying to hijack the blockchain technology and use it for, government controlled, force you into digital currencies as part of their cashless society scheme so they can track and tax every transaction. But, if you have a little bit of Bitcoin here as a part of a prudent diversification tool, and for speculative purposes, obviously, if it's already at 900, look at this. The charts here on Bitcoin. It's already gone up a lot. You've already had more than a triple since when it bottomed around 250 or so. It's up to 900. So now is not really the time to buy it unless you're putting in very tight stops on a trade. I don't think there's options so you can hedge it out quite yet. I don't think the Winklevoss's ETF, Bitcoin ETF, was fully approved. So I wouldn't be a buyer here unless you're paying very close attention to it. I would wait for a pullback to buy it again. But Mo and I have been covering Bitcoin now for a couple years. We thought it was a very good buy as a contrarian speculation when it got down around 250. So you've gotten more than a triple there on that, and we had many other winning investments and trades in our 2015 review, 2016 preview. We will be writing, as of right now, our 2016 review, 2017 preview. We haven't started on it yet, but I think we're going to get to it. I think we're going to get to it either sometime in January. Hopefully, we'll be able to finish it by either end of January or early February. We spend so much time writing it, though. I spent over a month writing the last couple ones. It was so in-depth on them, and going back and checking the grammar and updating it if any of the markets changed before we released it. So, since I spent so much time on it, and there's a bunch of winning investments in there, some of the stock picks, guys, are up. We have 3D printing, Triple D, which was one of my turnaround tech stock value plays because it was only trading at 2 times revenues, which for a tech stock is really, really cheap. That stock was down 95% early in 2016. That stock's up 78% year to date. And that was in the report. So that alone, and the Bitcoin trade, and then we had some winning options trades on Chipotle. I mean, those alone would have paid for the report if we charged like $80 or something for it. We don't know what the price point's going to be when we charge for it, but we'll let you guys know. So for those of you out there who don't think Bitcoin has viability, I think the technology behind Bitcoin is legit, but I think you should really pay attention to Jim Epstein's work. He's been doing a good job covering Bitcoin's explosion in demand in Latin America for Reason.com. And he was just interviewed by Tom Woods a couple weeks ago. So that's how I found his work, and I started looking at his articles after that. And I was familiar with his dad, Gene Epstein, who's a libertarian and Austrian school guy, and he's been writing for Barron's for years. And G. Taylor's had him on his show. So I think we've had, middle fingers from people in China, India, Venezuela, and other Latin American countries. And that's one of the main reasons why Bitcoin has been rising so much lately. What do you guys think? Share your thoughts in the comments below the video. Again, Happy New Year, guys. This was just a short video. And I'm hoping I can get Dave Collum on, who was on Chris Martinson's show earlier. It was released earlier in the day today. I'm hoping to have him on to discuss his extensive 2016 review sometime this week. And Mo and I are also going to be doing a podcast, an in-depth one, hopefully this week too, on a 2016 review for you guys. So everyone take care. Happy holidays, Happy New Year, and I'm out. Hi everyone, it's Jason Burak of Wall Street from Main Street. Thanks again for tuning into our podcast and for helping us get over 2 million views on our YouTube channel and over 10,000 iTunes downloads per month. We have a special offer for our Wall Street for Main Street listeners that has proven to be a good investment based on plenty of 5-star reviews from satisfied customers and independent fashion bloggers. Mo and I recently tried some shoes from a new company which is run by a family of third-generation shoemakers called Grant Stone Shoes. These are classic Goodyear welt shoes using full-grain leathers from world-renowned tanneries. In a world filled with disposable products, it can be difficult to find items which can be used for years and later passed down to the next generation. Grant Stone is a smaller brand going direct to the consumer, which offers unprecedented value. Quality and fit is the cornerstone of their program, and the customer response and reviews confirm this. These are high-quality shoes at a good price for the busy professional who wants to improve their appearance at the office, in the boardroom, or out on the town with your girlfriend or wife. Or, if you're single like me, you know you will look good with these shoes on and maybe impress the ladies with your style and taste. But if the ladies love Obama or Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders and hate free markets or capitalism or entrepreneurs, at least I will look and feel good in my comfy Grant Stone shoes. Mo and I have worked out a special offer for our listeners. So when you go to grantstoneshoes.com, enter the code GOLD, that's GOLD, for 10% off any purchase. That's grantstoneshoes.com and enter promo code GOLD.